ChatGPT could do better than last week. Last week, I filmed a video on ChatGPT's college essay with a very simple prompt. If you'd like to see it, check up here. This time, I chose the topic and I used an amalgamation of my own and others' experiences to see what it would come up with. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Hillary. I'm an essay specialist with Vanguard College Prep. We work with students on test prep, college counseling, and college application essays. Get yourself a beverage and we'll get into ChatGPT's second essay draft. Here's the prompt I used. Please do it again with the topic of my growth in coding. My dad created a program for me that taught me how to multiply when I was young and homeschooled, and soon after I took a typing class. These experiences together pushed me to learn how to code, but the moment that really made a difference and changed my perspective on the world was when I made an app prototype that could be used by people with chronic illnesses. In college, I want to keep working on coding projects that help those with disabilities or chronic illnesses to make their daily life easier. Lines of code danced across the screen, their purpose hidden to most, but not to me. From an early age, I was captivated by the transformative power of technology. It all began with a simple program my dad created, teaching me the art of multiplication. Homeschooled and eager to learn, I devoured this newfound knowledge, and as my curiosity grew, so did my desire to explore the vast world of coding. Little did I know that this passion would shape my perspective, drive me to create meaningful solutions, and ultimately inspire my path through college and beyond. Fun first line. I prefer descriptions that are more grounded, but the lines of code dancing works just fine. But don't act like you're the chosen one. Many people can code. Homeschooled is a really unnecessary addition here. I had included it to explain why my dad was writing me a multiplication program, but the way it's phrased doesn't add any extra benefit. The last two sentences say almost nothing and use up word count. It would be way better to write a transition to the next paragraph and remove them completely. My first steps into the realm of coding were accompanied by the rhythmic tapping of keys. A typing class ignited my love for the precision and efficiency of language, both in its spoken and digital form. As my fingers danced across the keyboard, I recognized the immense potential of coding as a tool for creation, communication, and problem solving. It was a gateway to a world where imagination could be brought to life, where lines of code held the power to change lives. I love the rhythmic tapping of keys. I don't usually listen to ASMR, but I will listen to a clacky keyboard any day. I do think that the AI has done a decent job connecting typing and coding here until the line, I recognize the immense potential of coding as a tool for creation. There's a transition needed there, but typing isn't really directly related to coding, so the fact that it managed to include it and show that, the precision and efficiency of language was something that it found there, that's very reasonable. Really, the typing class doesn't have a whole lot to do with coding, so maybe I was thinking it should just be a sentence, or perhaps not included at all. So perhaps I led ChatGPT astray there, and I shouldn't have included it in the first place. However, it was a pivotal moment in my coding journey that truly transformed my perspective and set me on a path of purpose. With newfound skills, I embarked on a mission to make a difference throughout technology. Inspired by my own experiences and driven by empathy, I set out to create an app prototype designed specifically for individuals with chronic illnesses. I wanted to harness the power of code to alleviate the daily challenges faced by those living with disabilities, empowering them to navigate their lives with greater ease and independence. Obviously, a pivotal moment transformed your perspective. It wouldn't be a pivotal moment if it didn't, and your perspective wouldn't be transformed if there wasn't a pivotal moment. So you don't have to tell me that. But cut those first two sentences, jump straight into the app, and tell me details. What does it look like? What does it do? What problems is it solving? This is generally quite vague. As I delved into the project, I realized the profound impact technology could have on the lives of individuals facing health-related hurdles. Collaborating with medical professionals and those with lived experiences, I sought to understand their unique needs, challenges, and aspirations. The lines of code I crafted were not merely a series of instructions. They represented hope, dignity, and the potential to transform lives. Okay, cringe a little bit. Vague. How is this app concretely helping others? Who were the medical professionals you're working with? What did you guys learn in collaboration with one another? What kinds of things did the medical professionals and those with lived experiences tell the writer? I want those listed, and I want how the writer plans to use this app to combat those. Witnessing the app prototype come to life filled me with an overwhelming sense of purpose and fulfillment. Seeing the smiles on the faces of those who tested the app, hearing their stories of newfound independence, and realizing that technology could bridge the gap between ability and opportunity, I knew I had found my calling. It was in this moment that I became resolute in my commitment to continue working on coding projects that empower individuals with disabilities and chronic illnesses, helping them navigate their daily lives with greater ease and dignity. That's a very reasonable goal. I know I'm kind of being silly as I'm reading this. We totally want people with chronic illnesses and disabilities to live their lives with greater ease and dignity. I have a chronic illness, and I do want to live my life with dignity. But show don't tell. This is all telling. It's all like,
I want to help people, and I started helping people, and my app prototype can help people.
How is it helping people? Can you please tell me some examples of how that's happening here? Tell me about one person you impacted. This is what we call the general in the specific. If you give one example of how this is working, then it's easier for your reader to see that and extrapolate to how this could be used in other ways. In college, I yearned to further hone my coding skills and immerse myself in an environment that nurtures innovation, collaboration, and social impact. I seek to join a community of like-minded individuals who share a passion for leveraging technology to create positive change. I aspire to collaborate with researchers, engineers, and designers to develop cutting-edge solutions that address the unique challenges faced by those with disabilities or chronic illnesses. What normal high schooler uses the word yearn? If you use the word yearn, let me know in the comments. Beyond the confines of the classroom, I envision partnering with local organizations, creating apps and platforms that enhance accessibility, promote inclusivity, and foster independence. I want to embark on a journey of learning where the lines of code I write are guided by empathy, driven by purpose, and guided by the belief that technology should be a force for good in the world. Now, I waited to say this because it applies to this paragraph and the one before. Again, this is vague. Plus, this kind of stuff should go in your supplemental essays, your why do you want to attend our college, why should we include you in our college. You don't need to talk about organizations that you want to work with. You don't need to talk about the professors you want to work with, or the researchers you want to work with, until you're actually doing those supplemental essays. For your narrative essay, you want to talk about you want to talk about your creativity, your intellectual vitality, but that's not a time to get into what you want specifically at that college. And since you're not able to give specifics in the narrative essay because you're using it to apply to a variety of colleges, it's just vague. It's kind of useless because I can't actually see the steps that the hypothetical writer plans on taking. As I embark on this next chapter, I am reminded of the little program my dad created, the one that set me on this path. The same spirit of curiosity and determination burns within me as I strive to amplify the voices of those often overlooked and to bridge the gap between technology and humanity. I am excited to embrace the challenges, seize the opportunities, and continue weaving lines of code that empower lives and make a tangible difference in the world. I'd say this is too long, but the full circle moment back to the multiplication program is nice. But it makes me wonder, why did I not just have this be an essay about love for math? Why is this an essay about love for coding? So if ChatGPT was my student and the prompt that I wrote was not mine, I would say, why are you focusing on coding when you started with a math program? So either we should pivot this essay to talk about math and your passion for mathematics, or we should find a different experience to start with, because it turns out this wasn't the right experience after all. That's on me, not on ChatGPT. With each line of code I write, I am reminded of the immense potential to create a brighter, more inclusive future. Let. Interesting ending there with the one word. ChatGPT could have stopped with that sentence, but instead it kept going, ran out of word count. Mr. Bingley is here to give his opinion. Overall, I'd say these were not good essays. Could they be first drafts? Sure. But right now, they're too vague, flashy, unstructured, and cliche to be submitted as is. Most of my students go through 12 drafts, sometimes more, before their essays are considered ready for submission. The conclusions here, also way too long. One paragraph of reflection on your experiences is all you need. So could ChatGPT write your college application essay? It can write a college application essay, but it won't be yours. Top colleges want to see your passion, experiences, and unique voice in your essay. And ChatGPT will never be able to see in your mind to be able to pull that out of you. That's something you have to write out yourself, something you may even have to find before you're able to put it on the page. ChatGPT can never show how you see the world, which is really what makes you, you. With each of my students at Vanguard, one of the first things I discuss is whether their topic has a unique angle that only they can write about. Every person has one, because everyone has a different background, different experiences or biases that shape how they see the world and how they react to it. ChatGPT will only ever draw from writing that humans have already created. It can't use its experiences to find a distinct, interesting angle that, like you can. And you can, even if you don't think so. Even if you have very little experience with writing, you're still a person with profound experiences. So you can find that unique angle, no matter how unsure you are of your writing ability or your creativity. Now, if you're struggling to begin your essay, maybe check out the Choosing a Narrative Essay Topic video up here. That might help you get rid of the blank page. If you're still struggling with the blank page after finding a topic, ChatGPT could be a useful tool. You won't end up keeping hardly anything of the draft that it makes, probably nothing. But if seeing words on the page helps you edit, then it can be useful. You'll have to rewrite the whole thing, you'll have to brainstorm before you chat with it, because as you saw in my last video, it can't work with nothing, obviously, and then it's not an essay about you, it's an essay about ChatGPT, and you're trying to get you into college, not an AI. If you need a bad draft on the page to start, ChatGPT could do that for you. Leave a comment if you have a question on test prep, college counseling, or college application essays that you'd like me to answer, and subscribe for weekly college prep content.